Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day, fabulous night. It's almost nighttime here in Utah. Today's video, I'm actually doing something pretty cool. I have actually given Coulter a set of sheds. It's actually my very first set of sheds I ever found, and it happens to be a brown elk set. And he has actually started up a new company, and I'm gonna go show you guys exactly what he's doing, what he has done, and what he is going to be doing with his business. And I'm pretty excited to go see what he has waiting for me. And I'm gonna be explaining things. Actually, he'll probably be explaining things, and I'm just gonna film and follow him around like a little puppy dog. But I just showed up at his house. I'm excited to get my hands on what he has for me. So come along, and just I hope you enjoy this video.
What up, Wes?
Dude, I was about to knock on the door.
I sensed you.
Well, I appreciate it.
What's up, guys?
He might have known that I was coming over. He was ready for it.
Yeah.
Guys, this right here is Coulter.
How you guys doing?
And this man has created an awesome business, and I am pretty dang excited to show you guys what he has going on. And I see this right here. Look at this. This is Chad's set too, right?
Yes, it is.
Look at that, guys.
Look at this cheater on the side. It makes it look really cool.
Dude, that looks so good. That is sweet. That
So
is
this
nice.
is the first look of the Trapper Pack, but yeah, basically it's a complete recreation of an antique that you've either seen, heard of, looked for, couldn't find. Maybe you found it. Maybe you've paid a small fortune. Maybe you found one at a hobby shop or a pawn shop or something, but they're really cool, and they're gone, and if you can find one, that's awesome. But wanted to bring them back to life, so I can tell we're gonna get into that and explain some of the things we do, but that's just a first look. But this is like the original size, but dude, you haven't seen this. I just put this up on the wall.
Let's see
it's
this.
A bigger size.
I like that. That is nice. Oh, yes. Dude.
Look at it.
Look at that. That's crazy. You can fit it up against the wall like that, man. What? Look at that, guys.
He's only about an inch off the wall, but his nose
that
still
is
comes out.
Sweet.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got kind of a natural crop.
I gotta back up to show the whole thing. Look how cool that is, guys.
Cool in the center.
That is so badass. That is money. And then he has giant over here.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've noticed, but you know, this size right here, this size of pack frame, it's a few inches smaller than this guy next to it. And so this is the original size. This is like the antique that we're replicating, like to the T, like structurally and aesthetically. We're gonna get into that a little later about like how we constructed the frame and everything. But if you notice, these are like different sizes, and that all came from wanting to put an elk onto like the original that I scoured eBay for, spent way too much money for it, but I really wanted the look, and I put an elk on it and it just drowned it. And I thought, dang, like I can barely tell it's even on a pack because this elk skull's 3 times this size, you know? So anyway, this is the original size, and this guy here we call the Trapper XL. It's 6 inches taller and it's a couple inches wider. And you can see if you compare these side by side, you know, you can see that one on the right is a little bit larger. But that couple inches makes a huge difference when it comes to putting a skull on there. The elk skull would have covered this whole pack, and it just wouldn't have looked very good. So honestly, you're not gonna see an elk on any of these old style of packs because they just don't work. They're just, the originals are so small. So we have the original, which is great, and then we have a larger one. And what's so cool is there's a guy I know who has one that rolled his elk cape up and did a dead mount, they call it. So it looks like you packed it out of the mountain with the cape all rolled up. Someone else grabbed one for a mountain goat, a full body mountain goat cape rolled up with just the head mounted. Same with bear, same with sheep. So it's so cool the different possibilities that there are.
That's awesome.
We'll spend all that, but dude, it also is money for sheds. I know that's what you're saying.
I'm excited.
And, Wes brought his very first, like most sentimental shed set he's ever had. It's his first brown set, and I've got it on a pack downstairs for him, and he doesn't even know what it looks like yet. So I think we should take a look at it, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Sweet. So come on down to the Borderland unfinished basement headquarters. This is like half of where we make the packs, and it's an unfinished basement, but it's real. We're a startup. This is how we do it. So you ready, Wes?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, man.
All right, guys, heading down. I want to see it. Yes, looks good. Oh, yes, buddy. Yes. That actually looks so good. Guys, ooh. I'll turn this around and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Guys, check that out. Ooh, that is so money, brother. Thank you so much. Look at that, guys. This is my very first set of elk sheds right here. And he, the magician over here, look at that. That is money.
Yeah, dude. We got
Explain what you did right here. Explain what you got going on.
So we've got jute rope here. So that's like honestly authentic to the time. They would have had jute rope, early 1900s. It's all lashed together, tied up here at the top. And then they're also connected down here at the bottom. It's just a nice, clean look. And that tines down on a pack like that. You've never seen a shed display look like this.
No,
you know what I mean?
That is so money, brother.
You can prop them up and it makes you kind of get an idea of what that bull looked like on the hoof, but upside down, it is that look as if it was being packed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like as if great grandpa hiked these sheds out of the hill on his 100-year-old pack or so. So
do you have a actual antique pack here?
It's right here on your right.
Oh,
so
look at that.
Well, what do you know? So this guy right here, this is the actual pack frame that we're copying. Let me grab, this is a good comparison right here.
Guys, look what else he has going on over here, though. Can I show some of this off?
Anything you
want.
Good? Yeah.
Dude, look at that bull. So this is an elk set standing up, like he was talking about right there. And then another one tines down. Dude, those look so sweet. Fun, huh? So money, brother.
Here's just a couple more animals if you were interested.
Oh, there you go.
Cannot take credit for this beautiful thing. This is Justin Finch's ram. Pre-COVID, by the way. So Justin, he let me borrow this for the hunt expo that I'll tell you about that we got into. And this is a deadhead he found off the Antelope Island in Utah. But it's a beautiful thing, and I wish I could hang on to it.
Yeah.
But I'm overstaying my welcome with it for sure. This is a deadhead from Utah. It's about a 30-inch buck. It's a pretty awesome deer.
Look at that.
It's not a very cool display when it's just in our like.
No, it looks badass still, bro. That is awesome. Look how dark those antlers are.
Yeah, this is a muzzleloader buck. I got just this last fall. Still hunting at 80 yards. He stood up. I thought it was a different deer that had a kicker right here as well. And I only saw like this right side of his face. He had this ear cocked back, and I was like, "You look good to me." And I mean, it's all good. But the deer was probably a couple years older that I intended to shoot, but he's been getting a lot of attention on a pack frame.
Dude,
I'm happy with him. But
that is awesome.
Year. And then
so awesome.
Here's an awesome
there we go.
Not a very typical look for a mountain goat. I really like a goat like on a bookshelf. It's such a smaller skull, but I want to maybe get a cape someday and maybe cast the antlers and then do an entire cape rolled up and compressed down like you hiked it, out of the mountaintop like that. So it's kind of fun for sure. Lets you have a lot of creativity. If you have like hides, you can roll them up with traps and all that, So
that's
makes
awesome.
For a lot of possibilities. So.
And I love that you.
By the way, yes.
Lovely wife.
This is my wife Rochelle. She is the mastermind behind all the canvas. So she's
what?
It's basically
you sew all these.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, I do.
So this is heavy cotton duck canvas. This is the logo here on the back, pre-sewn.
So those are originals.
Let's see the logo. Gotta show that off.
These
Borderland Supply Co. Like that.
These are from the pre-orders that we had.
Yeah, there's a pre-order going on right now. I don't know when this video will go live, but it ends next Wednesday. That would be in 7 days.
Yeah.
15th of April. So we're doing $50 off to say thanks to people getting in early and showing their support. But my wife, this is kind of her second home downstairs and mine as well. I'll show you some tables
on the other
here.
Side, I'm over here, he's over
But
there.
yeah, this is
I love that you guys are hustling out of your basement. This is awesome.
well, you got to, man. It's
fun.
It's been an interesting ride. It's a different story for sure, but we're excited. We're really pumped with all the feedback we're getting from everybody, and people. I think there's like a movement kind of.
Yeah.
People are like really remembering why we're hunting and about the meat and the care for the animal, and people are kind of connecting back with their roots, like back to, you know,
traditional,
some of the old school, more traditional stuff. And this was technology that frankly was a patented technology in 1910. Canvas was not invented till the early 1900s, and stretching canvas around a bent oak frame, it was patentable. I mean, it sounds funny because now we have all this carbon fiber and stuff, but it was truly an innovation to get literally a pack board, like a flat board, off your back and have canvas separating, you know, be between you and your frame. That was an innovation that was patented in 1910, and it's that design that we're completely replicating because it's just completely disappeared. They kept building them through part of World War II, and then it turned to metal frames and then synthetic synthetic materials to prevent rot and all that stuff. And so every single piece of our components are aged. It's cotton, even the rope, the lacing's cotton, everything like that is completely authentic to the time. So I can show you all about how we do it and everything like that too. But
heck yeah,
we put the details in. We get sore hands, but we're trying to authentically bring it back. It's just otherwise it would just be lost. And it's exciting to see people who scour for these like be so pumped when they can find now that someone's producing it. And so we hope to keep producing them and do well, and it's for people that are excited, that really motivate us, because I felt passionate when I first found an antique, and then learning that so many people like that look as well. It's so cool because what we share in common as hunters and outdoorsmen and women is that we like respect our animals and the memory that we want to remember the animal by.
We really wanted to have this pack display those memories, because when we were at the trade show, there was a woman that like stopped dead in her tracks, and she was like, I need to get this for my husband because it was associated with a deer that he basically almost died getting. So powerful moment, and I'm like, yes, use our pack frame to display that.
She stopped dead in her
awesome.
tracks and said, okay, I can do this, because sometimes there's a wrestle about having animals downstairs in the basement and whatnot, but what's so cool is that these packs really fit in with like modern decor as well. Like they're clean but rustic, and they're pretty modern, and so it's kind of cool.
With them. You don't have to do the sheds and the Euro mounts and such, but it looks great.
It's fun.
Heck yeah.
Anyway.
Awesome.
No, I'm pumped, dude.
Appreciate it.
I am so pumped about this. That looks so good, so clean.
Yep, it's all fun. So like let me just show you this. Like even if we just hung up a pack here, and here's another little pair of sheds. You know, you could tie on these antlers like this, and you could lash them up, tines up, or you could even lash them up like this, tines down, and kind of flare them out. You know, a deer doesn't usually get displayed like that, but it just has that feeling like it's being packed out of the hills. It helps you get sheds off the ground. Like, I don't know, 99% of people I know, their keeper sheds, they sit right like that. They might get pulled into a Christmas tree in December, and they say, hey buddy, check out my sheds, and they're like, oh wow, and it's awesome to put your hands on them, but like, I mean, that's a beautiful tall 3-point.
Oh yeah.
But like, you could hang this off a string upside down, you could slip it off and still handle it, but otherwise it's there on display upside down. So this really makes for some fun possibilities. But
heck yeah.
we wanted me to show kind of the original, and
oh yeah, this is the original traditional frame pack right here.
Yep, this is true. So full disclosure, okay? Like someone could say, well, you're copying. You're right. It's gone otherwise, and I'm completely bringing it back. That was the goal, is to try to be as authentic as possible. And so full disclosure, this is a company in Seattle, Traeger Manufacturing. They produced this. They patented it in 1910. Patents expire in 50 years. This is not a patentable item anymore, but it's lost to history. It's in antique shops, or it's on eBay, and those that sell on eBay, they know what antiques sell for. So this guy cost me like $320, but I got it because I wanted to preserve a memory for my dad. It was the first European, first time he ever didn't mount something that he didn't cut the skull cap off. And so I said, I wanted something special for him. And it was his elk, and I placed the elk on it. And that's when I thought, dang, I need to make something bigger. And I thought, well, how could I make it bigger? And so I took the corset off. I saw how it was attached. I learned that it was bent oak. And I thought, well, there's probably a couple things I could even do to improve it, to make it a little more, you know, display and animal friendly. And what I mean by that is you can see how I bent the frame even more.
Yes,
and I did that so that you can get the animal to pop off the wall a little better.
Like your bull up in the living room.
Exactly. I use a little bit thicker oak as well, because it's not just taking stress up and down here. Your animal's going to be kind of anchored here, and it's going to take some stress. And so otherwise, like, every single thing about this structurally is the same. We do 3 different colors: green, tan, and brown. This kind of is like a mossier colored green. It tells a story. Age is awesome, right? I don't know if a logger wore this in the 20s. I have no idea. Or if it was a Boy Scout pack, or if it was, you know, packing doll sheep in Alaska. I have no idea. It tells a story. Age does for sure. If you can't find one, I'm happy to help you out. We're happy to help you out. But what I like is that we produce some colors that might look just a little bit cleaner in your home. This kind of has like a mossy green, greenish yellow color with time, which you might like or you might not. And so having some variance is kind of cool. A couple things we do as well is we have actually an attached cable here. So right here underneath the upright, here's a cable. And if I were to pull it up through the frame like this, you're going to see my finger, you're going to see the screw in the wall. But if you pull it through the slit that the straps come out of, you're not going to see anything.
That is slick.
Right? And so really all you need is a screw in the wall, anchor screw in the drywall, or hit a stud. And all you have to do is just like I showed you here, just drop it on the wall, and then you can center it like a picture frame, right? You can just place it however you'd like. So even if you had like a set that's, you know, larger on one side or whatever, you can just slide it over to compensate. So it's pretty easy.
That is awesome.
So there's obviously, you know, some companies charge like $80 to have a bracket that will help your animal come like, you know, 4 to 6 inches out of the wall. For just a couple $100, you have this entire display, plus you're about 4 to 5 inches off the wall to here. Then you have the back of the skull, and then your antlers. And that gives you that room to be able to tilt your antlers back against the wall without hitting. So
what is the price of your packs?
Yeah, so basically right now, just to get the word out, we're giving everyone $50 off. But normally this regular size is $249, and then this XL size is $279. That's what we charge for them, and it's cheaper than finding them online. Now you could scour and probably find a deal here and there that might be cheaper. But what we have into it and all the detail we do, we really feel like it's worth it, and it just creates a really unique look you're not going to find somewhere else. So
heck yeah,
we
and
feel like it's worth it.
Guys, they hand make these, all the grommets, and I mean, you dye these, right?
Yeah, so I stain all the oak. This is actually oak, and this is cedar. If you look close right here, once you come in close, you can see that is like distressed, and you can see it's like rippled. And so I actually scrub this with a steel brush, and it removes the soft growth rings. So the softer pulp will be removed, and it'll leave those ripples. And you can't get that look on wood except for like 10, maybe 5-10 years out in the weather to get those ripples like that. So I'm not joking. I need to get some better tools. I mean, we're just so new at this. We scrub that to make those markings appear, and then we hit them, distress them, and we actually steam bend this oak. And so this oak would otherwise not be able to be arced like that. Some guys have tried to make these themselves, and a couple corners they round is not using oak because it's expensive. They use poplar because it's already cut thin like this, and then they don't bend it because you can't steam bend poplar. It's too brittle. It's going to break on you. It's not going to stay as malleable. And so they basically produce a very flat look, and then they may or may not use very heavy canvas. We use like military grade 18-ounce canvas, and then we just dress all the components. All these nickel pieces used to be bright, nickel. They're all aged with a process we do here in our house. These are working straps. So you can literally, it's gonna be like silly to try this on, but I'm not joking. It's just like, this is actually like a wearable pack, and people have bought them to wear them. Like, oh, I go to the rendezvous, I go to the Mountain Man rendezvous, and I could carry stuff on my back because you're supposed to be authentic. Yeah. So I've had guys buy these.
That is awesome. Turn around, show what you got going on.
Someone else bought one. He's like, I'm gonna go shed hunting with this. So I'm pulling down like that, and they're really strong. Speaking of the frame, I mean, I'm not showing you this to say, hey, like, you need to get one to wear it, but people actually enjoy wearing it. Having that canvas against your back, it feels like there's nothing on your body. The frame, let me just show you. The frame is only 1/4 of an inch thick right here. See that? And it's only 1/4 of an inch into a 3/4 inch thick piece of cedar, which is a softer wood. And so I'm just gonna put my weight down on this and show you how strong this is. I'm not a heavy guy, but I'm 180 pounds, and all my weight was on a 1/4 inch piece of wood linearly, right? So that comes so far out from the wall, you think that would just peel off.
You can even see it flex right there.
So you see the rod flexing? Yeah, right there?
Yep.
Okay, so this is an 1/8 inch steel rod. It's cold rolled steel. Getting this through here, guys, I mean, these could be made on your own, but there are so many details that make this completely the exact same pack. The steel rod actually keeps all the weight uniform, so now the stress here also pulls down here, so now it just doubled, right? So this acted like I was putting weight down on a 1/2 inch instead of a 1/4 of an inch, and all that. So the screws in here are all aged as well. These started out bright zinc.
The details. I love it.
The straps are attached with iron tack nails.
Check that out.
So just like they would have been back in the day. In fact, I can show you.
This is the traditional, the original.
And that's cotton lacing right there. And it's just white cotton lacing. What we've done is we've I'm wearing, where'd that tan pack go? I'm not even joking, I forgot it was on my back. I was like, wait, where's the pack? We stain it with coffee, so you can see like some of the yellowish marks on there. So we'll actually stain this in coffee so that it looks a little more grungy. That is awesome, bro. Thanks a lot.
You guys put in so much work and do such a stellar job. I mean, the wife, ooh, she's gonna love it. I mean, I love it. She's gonna love it. Yeah. She has no choice.
So what's the
going in the living room?
It's good. Well, my wife said yes too. So. Yeah, she said, I want my house to be before we were married.
House.
You say it.
I didn't want our house to be a trapper house.
And what has happened?
Well, there's stuff here and there, but so now, it's classy and it's stylish.
You don't mind these being in your house, huh?
Yeah. To me,
they're trapper packs. Yeah. And she didn't want a trapper house, but trapper packs are now upstairs.
There you go.
Anyway.
But
suckered you into it.
I like them. And it's clean, it's neat, it's not as cluttery, and it's stylish. And so you can put it in a modern home as well as an older home, a cabin, or wherever.
Well, I love that you guys are a team on this and you make awesome packs and
yeah, it's fun.
This is awesome.
Do you want to see some of the? I mean, behind you, there's 2 tables.
Oh, let's do it.
I don't know. So basically, here's like our cotton webbing. This is a company in Alabama, guys. Every single thing you see came from an American company. Everything we get is sourced. Now, I can tell you honestly that there isn't a U.S. company that produces these, but a U.S. company, not us, purchased these from overseas, which we purchased from them. So everything we get is from like our canvas comes from Georgia, so all of our canvas here is Georgia. All of our slides here come from Alabama, from a company called Country Brook Design. They're in Alabama. Every single bolt here honestly came from Home Depot, and no, you cannot buy them like this, but we actually age them. Basically oxidation is a real thing, and this is a solution of bunch of things you would not want to consume, but you can get from your grocery store. And I mean, honestly, there's some painstaking stuff here. This is an awl. Okay, so it's like I have an awl and a mallet, and this is how we actually
grommet press.
Yeah, this is how we produce like our straps. Is we literally punch an awl. We punch an awl through here by hand, and you set a rivet inside.
You're blowing my mind right now.
It's really just how things were made. Now, we're not trying to say we're going to make them exactly how they were made, because I would have a hand drill and I would have a chisel to cut cuts out of the cedar. But my point is you know, we don't have all the equipment. We don't have like pneumatic presses that are doing all the grommet setting, nor the the rivet setting. But we have
Truly
tools.
Handmade.
It's truly handmade. I mean,
that's awesome.
We've aged ourselves. I mean, the canvas is too thick. Again, it's military grade. We can't punch through the canvas with this grommet press. We go through bit by bit.
You got it.
Every single one of these holes was punched with this sucker. And that's why there's earplugs on the table, because it's freaking loud. And so you just punch these suckers out. You've put your grommets in, which, by the way, just show you how like corroded and old looking they all are. See them?
That's so cool.
So that's, again, like, that's nickel. So we're aging nickel to make them look old. So honestly, like, I know we're biased, but we think that these look better than the originals, because the originals might still be shiny brass. They might still have shiny components. The canvas might be kind of mustard yellow, or it might still be really clean and tan. So we're doing things to purposely distress them and make them really just look rustic, but they're also clean. Like, they just look clean and neat, but they're also pretty rustic. So this is kind of where all the components and all the assembly goes, where we attach the straps, build the straps, but it all starts with the wood. It starts with the wood frames, and out in my garage, we've got all that as well. So if you wanted to see it, I could show you.
Let's check it out.
We build up a ton of sawdust and everything.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, downstairs, check. Next half, the garage.
The garage. Oh, more animals out here. I love it.
Smells like wood.
Yes, it does.
It
smells like hard work and sweat and blood and tears.
Something like that.
We got caribou. We have more elk. Oh.
This is where I work with the oak and the cedar. So let me just show you, like, real quick. These are the 17.5-inch long cedar pieces that will be bent into what will be the XL, and then here's the smaller pieces. And then the XL actually has a fatty centerpiece, because it's gonna take some weight for like an elk skull, if I ever were to have an elk skull on it. And it makes it look pretty cool to have the corset open and you see that thicker piece of oak. So basically, there's a process. We go from straight to bent.
And you guys do that yourself?
We do it right here, man.
What?
Yeah, we steam bend the oak, and we put them in a jig, and then they stay like this.
That is nuts.
Yep, so there's our smaller pieces and our bigger pieces.
Check that out.
So
that is gnarly.
that took some time to figure out.
Oh, I bet.
some breaking, some cracking, finding the right temperature, how long. You guys are free to try to create these yourself. They're a little painstaking for sure, but we've kind of dialed it up. Behind you, Wes, here's all of our cedars. So every pair right here is another pack. They're lined up by the grain. So these two are a close match. You can see these two are a match, right? So I like to line up grains. These two, kind of close. So it's a good, see, like nice and wavy grain right there. So every single one of these is going to become its own pack. So that's like 150 packs right now. There's just so many here. And every single one of them is already measured for where the cross members are going to go. So once I cut those out, we can take the bent piece of oak that I showed you, and we will create the frame. And then once the frame's created, we actually will drill holes, get the wire, get this steel in there, bend those up. Again, it's about 4 inches of arc out from the wall. So it's pretty awesome.
Check that out, guys.
And then kind of created this like DIY dowel rack. It's double-sided, so I've had like 100 of these on here before. It's just like super flex, but this is what they look like stained, as you've seen. And so all the sawdust, all the cutting, all the staining, all happens out here. I lay like dollar store tablecloths on the ground, and we just get a little high on fumes, and we just get it done.
That's awesome.
So that's framed. I mean, there is a lot to it, but you know, the artistic side is, you know, it does start with the distressing, and there's a lot that happens out here. Like the most unfun part is out here, but you just gotta do it.
So what made you want to do this? What inspired this whole process, the whole company?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. So if I were to take you into a room of mine, I haven't put animals on trapper packs all over the room or my house, but I have probably 4 or 5 European mounts. Like you see these 2 behind you, and there's a few in another room of mine. And I just never put them on the wall. I just personally I wanted to have something more unique. I didn't want necessarily a white skull on a white wall, and that's totally fine. It's clean, it's modern. I wanted something a little more rustic. And so for the longest time, I just didn't hang them up. I know there's great brackets out there, totally great, like awesome ideas to tilt those antlers up and everything, the faces to have a natural look. What I wanted was something that was unique. So I gotta be honest, I was just Googling like pedestals, like maybe I'll do like the cedar branch and stack a few animals up it. And I came across a photo. People screenshot these. Taxidermists are awesome creative minds out there. And someone put a animal onto a pack. And I thought, I could do that for my Euros. I had never seen one for a Euro. I thought I could do that. I don't have any animal that's been mounted. I don't have a cape, but I do have Euros. I bet I could put a Euro on that. So I found out what that pack was. It was like, okay, a trapper pack or a pack frame or Indian pack board, they were called back in the day. So I was researching like the history of packs. I found a company that did it. I was just Etsying like Googling, eBay, Etsy, Google, finally found one, paid all that money like I said, and I thought this is so cool. But in that process of, if I knew it was really cool, if I recognize it, someone else has got to think that this is cool. And if I'm trying to find one, someone else has got to be trying to find one. And so when I realized how hard they were to find, how expensive they were, I love working with wood. Like I build our own furniture in our house and stuff. It just clicked. I thought, here is a need. There are people who want this look who can't find them. They used to years ago, but they can't any longer. I want to make another one without paying a ton of money. I want to make one for myself because this was originally a gift. What started out as a Christmas present in December turned into, holy cow, I want to make one larger for my dad's elk, like I explained earlier, and that taught me how to make them. But I didn't want to round the corners. I really tried to make it as authentic as I could, and that kind of just put myself through a crash course on how to make these. And then I made one for myself. And basically, I thought there's an opportunity here. And so that was kind of what made me want to do it, was I wanted to have a way to like portray and remember something like our animals in a really awesome way. And I can't say I was the first to do it. I saw a taxidermist do it, but I did say, I think that these things could be more available for other people. If I'm excited about this, someone else will. And boy, have we been right. Like people are really excited that they can get their hands on these now. So
heck yeah. The very first time I ever saw one, I was like, I need that in my life.
That's a message we hear. Yeah, people will send us emails, messages, and it's really exciting, guys. Like whether you've heard of us or not, thank you. You know, it's really cool to see. What makes me excited, I have to share this. What makes me excited isn't the validation that something I've created gets people excited. What honestly makes me the most excited is what I really believe other people are excited about. And that's, oh my gosh, I have something I want to put on that. I don't think people are excited because they're so happy that I made it. They're happy that it's available. Like they're happy that they can get their hands on one. And that makes me so pumped because I know how it feels to want to cherish an animal and its memory. And I feel like truly that animal up on your wall is like a token. And when you look at that, it's just an instant flood of that day, how hard you worked, the memories, the connections, people who were with you, and they will mean all the much more sweet to me when like my dad's gone someday or something. Like you can just look at an animal and in a flash, that day is relived. And so when I help people put their animals, their memories onto a pack, and I see them get excited, I can be so behind that and so passionate. So I really feel like that's the fuel behind why we're doing this, is we're helping people display their memories in a way that makes them excited and makes it like recreate and relive that for themselves. I vicariously see that happen and I live through them, and because I know how that feels, and that's why we're so excited to be able to get that out to people for sure.
That's awesome, dude. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. It's late,
The
but
wife's only called twice.
yeah, no big deal. But I gotta thank this gentleman right here, dude. Seriously, thank you very much for just all that you do. This company is amazing.
Thanks, man.
If you guys would go check out Borderland, give this guy a follow. I'll put all the links, the descriptions, and all that inside the video. I'm gonna do some stories on Instagram, some posts on Instagram. You guys need to check him out.
Appreciate you guys' help.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.